learn anything about the car before they cut it short?
A little bit, yeah. Definitely was able to learn a few things with the limited laps we got, but little of that was kind of self-induced, just trying to wait and make sure the track was cleaned off and dusted off and everything like that.
What's the sentiment been at Welcome before and after?
Before and after last
Before
weekend.
he won and before the benefits of the win were taken away.
Yeah, I mean, all I can really say is that we're busting our tails. Everybody at the shop is working really hard. We've got a lot of hard working men and women up there in Welcome, and fruits of that labor came to fruition, or were to come to fruition last weekend, with the 3 car having a lead on its own and an opportunity to win the race straight up. So I think that was a huge testament to the things that are going on up there, and wish that could have come all the way through and not had that yellow, but wasn't meant to be.
Is there some place, after seeing the kind of speed you had at Richmond, that you might be able to make use of it in the final 3 races for the playoffs?
I don't think Richmond has anything to do with Michigan or Daytona, so certainly come here with optimism off of our speed that we had here last year, but just wasn't quite the feel that I was hoping for right there off the truck. So got to get back to the hauler, talk to the guys, try to dissect what we can do to make it better. Really, really losing a lot of time off of turn 2, so we got to fix that.
Would you have, if they had not reversed, or if they had not taken away the playoff bid for Austin, would you have be willing to say, okay, I got to do what he did to win that race?
Yeah, I mean, the precedent I think before that was you got to do what you got to do to win the race, and he put it out there where then NASCAR had to react, and so that's the unfortunate part of all of that, and the net result that should have been prior to the caution coming out. So hate it for RCR, the 3 team, all those guys, and obviously they're appealing it, so we'll see what happens with that.
You were cutting the wrap off your wrist. What was bothering you about the brace thing last week?
We wrapped it too tight. It was too tight, so it was starting to swell up, and you could feel the pulsing through your hand. So I just had to loosen it up and give it some room to breathe a little bit.
Do you have a wrap on for this weekend?
Yeah, we made a new brace. I've got a real brace for it, so I just got to it's too much right now. I just practiced with it, and it was too much. It was uncomfortable, so I got to start cutting on it and trying to get it to where I feel like it could help and not hurt.
To get you a better pair of scissors to do that?
Well, hopefully I don't need to cut on this one, so that's the purpose of this now.
Kyle, take Austin out of it, but whenever a driver or if a driver does a maneuver like that for a win, how does that affect their reputation within the
garage? Yeah, I mean, certainly there's the right way to win races and there's the wrong way to win races. There's a lot of guys that have done some desperate things to get wins, even when they're not desperate. The one that had it happen to him is probably the one that's done it the most. That doesn't need to do it. So, I guess his comments, he can be calling himself that. Somebody threw up a highlight of him from the K&N race at Irwindale years ago. I forgot all about that one. Holy mackerel. Doing shit like that should never get you to the top level, but it did. So anyways, yeah, be mindful of what you do, I guess. It's always going to come back on you. YouTube is there for not all positives.
So you think that there's a line, okay, the Harvick, when he tried to turn you at Martinsville to get those last points that he needed or whatever, I don't think it worked out for him.
It didn't.
Let's say that it worked. Is what they just ruled now, do you think that applies to that kind of incident?
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. The intent on that one, even though it didn't net result what Harvick was looking for, probably should have posted a penalty.
Was that manipulating the outcome of the race?
Which one?
Oh, what Harvick did? What he attempted to do?
What he attempted to do?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So what you say, there's a right way and a wrong way, and there's also a legal way. So how do you balance what you think is right versus what is wrong versus what is allowed?
You do whatever you can and whatever you think you need to do in the moment, and you rep the consequences after.
So, no question, Austin did what he did to get around Joey. And I've been asking, Joey wants to think that this is intentional, that he tried to hook Denny to bolster his case, I'm assuming. But in 350 feet, Austin would have had to process wrecking Joey and then intentionally hook Denny. Do you think it was that Denny coming up and they just meeting in the middle and that was a circumstantial thing? Or he's trying to door Denny and go across the line that way? Or do you really think Austin's he's your teammate, but that doesn't seem like a dirty driver?
I would say the second one was more circumstantial than it was thought through, obviously. So, but that's an Austin question.
Kyle, you've had mixed results here at Michigan over the years. What do you think about your weekend this weekend, and do you look forward to coming here, or?
Yeah, I mean, definitely mixed results over the years here at Michigan. Not always been one of my favorite places. California was always high on my list of going there, 2 Mile Oval, but Michigan's never been high on my list. So I was fortunate to get the win when I got one here in 2013. But past that, there's been a hell of a lot more days that we've missed here than I've hit. So I just don't understand what it is, what I miss, what I don't get right. But when we won that race here in 13, that was the old asphalt, and you had the whole racetrack to use. We ran the 4th and 5th lane for most of the day up top, up against the fence, so that was a lot of fun and pretty cool and different than what we're always used to here. When you come in, you try to arc as much as you can, get to that lane 2, and let it drift back out to the wall and carry that speed as fast as you can through the middle. So just haven't hit on the handling that we need, and so far today kind of was struggling exactly in that wrapping the exit of turn 2 situation.
So are you comfortable knowing what's contact that's incidental, or contact for retaliation, or contact to get some points? Because this system is put this in place.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, they all want to say we know where the line is. We don't know where the line is. Logano flat out wrecked me at Vegas for a 3rd place in the exact fashion that the 3 knocked him out of the way for a win. So that's why he got punched in the face. I mean, he's just as guilty of it as anybody. So I don't know where else to go.